Dean Callan, 3250 Southwest 2nd Court. Once again, I find myself before you a little bit perplexed upon how decisions have been made.
Name and address for the record, please.
Dean Callan, 3250 Southwest 2nd Court. A couple of months ago, I came before you and I asked for a delay on some things being done in Deer Run. Tonight, again, I find that after talking to Commissioner Gonat today that we could possibly still have a delay or return the money. He goes ahead and tells the city manager to instruct Public Works to put down traffic calming in a way.
Excuse me, I didn't say that.
You said there was no problem with doing what he had recommended, sir.
Excuse me, I didn't tell you that there was a delay, that a delay could be done. I heard what you said.
You asked if I preferred having the $10,000 returned.
And I said I heard you.
Well, I have 188 signatures stating that we represent a body in Deer Run, that we disagree with the way the commissioner has been handling things in our neighborhood.
Wait a second.
Sure.
That isn't right. We had a meeting. We had a meeting with staff. I've supported staff recommendations.
We had a meeting, Commissioner, and at the meeting you said you did not acknowledge our organization because we were not a legitimate organization. What we've done in the meantime is we have incorporated our organization, and we've also applied for a nonprofit. As we've been collecting signatures for those that want to be acknowledged by us today, we have 188 people that we represent in our neighborhood. I believe that's a pretty strong body. We also have attempted to get a hold and have this delayed, which it was at one of the commission meetings, and now you're pushing to have it done. You're telling Kathy Maggie that you're going to do something that we disagree with. Commissioner, we have constantly disagreed over the years. You and I have notoriously combated issues, but in the long run we have resolved a lot of them. This one, for some reason, does not seem to be able to get resolved. Again, we have a committee together in our neighborhood. We want to be recognized as a voice for our neighborhood. It's been a long, hard road to get this done, and we have a board that has accomplished tremendous things. We're a little tired of being fought by you, Commissioner, to have things done. Thank you.
Can I just, at my own peril, I'll just interject a couple things so that you know what the city manager's position is.
Okay.
The city manager's position is as follows. The last board vote that I am aware of, which is June 20th, 2006, before I got here, said that the placement of the traffic calming devices paid for by the money coming in, $10,000, would be as installed as directed by the city engineer. Until such time as this commission votes to change that decision, as I think was indicated at the team center the night that I attended with Commissioner Gonat and etc., it is the city engineer's decision where they get placed. In my mind, and I don't mean to be unkind, I don't care if you got 1,000 signatures. Until this board votes that the engineer is not going to determine where they're placed, it doesn't matter.
Okay, well, City Manager, we met with the city engineer, Charlie, that I drove around with one of the other board members. We came up with a plan along with them, submitted to call Peter. He has a copy of it. Which was also approved by the board, including Kathy Maggie's signature, who was on the board at the time. We came to an agreement with the Public Works Department, and somehow that got circumvented. We still want to have it done, sir, but we want it done that is beneficial to the whole neighborhood, not just to one portion of one street.
I mean, Carl, you may need to speak. I have no knowledge that it was circumvented.
Well,
I'm sorry.
We had your staff met with Dean Callan and the board. There was no circumvention. That's why we met with him.
Sir, when I presented you with this, Commissioner Gonat, you pushed this back to me and said, I don't care about what
that is not true, Dean. And if you're going to misrepresent the facts, that's not that is the same meeting that we had there with the city manager. And I'm sorry, apparently that if you don't like the answer, but I'm telling you, I support staff. It was a staff recommendation.
The staff we went around with, and we came up with this plan. You do not want to see this plan.
Excuse me. The issue was, and excuse me, this was done on the Adler property. This was when and we had this discussion earlier.
We were not all represented at that. You gave it to a minimal amount of people, and the votes you got.
Yeah, I mean, can give it back to me, and I'll give it back to Carl, who can give it back to Charlie, who can give it. Can you shed any light on this? I mean, were you there that night at the
I was
center?
there
I
at the
can't
teen
remember.
center, and there was discussion about putting 2 at the north end of 34th Street and 2 at the north end of 32nd Street. I don't agree that that's the right way to spread out those 4 traffic tabletops that are part of what's being funded by that developer. They need to be further apart than just confined at the north end.
That's what the young man is saying, isn't it? Isn't that the same thing you're saying?
That's what we're saying.
No, I don't think.
And that's the recommendation of Public Works. We want to go along with that, which is why we had this plan. And that's why we got together. We came up with a subsequent plan. It was approved by Public Works along with the people in our neighborhood. We liked the idea of what we laid out. Our board approved it, and it seems to get pushed away every time we try to have it done. We're trying to get it done properly for the needs of our neighborhood as a whole. This plan comes around that, as you can hear from Carl, that he agrees with the fact that it is not appropriate the way it was laid out. We agree with Carl Peter, along with Charlie DeBrusco. It's not right for our neighborhood. We have a plan. We would like it approved properly for the needs of our whole neighborhood. That's all we're asking.
I don't understand that.
Mr. Manager, can you take care of that problem?
Yes, ma'am. I'm one more time for the record. As far as I'm concerned, it's Charlie DeBrusco's, in conjunction with Carl Peters, where these speed tables go.
And I have said I supported staff recommendations. That's the discussion that we've had. Now,
This gentleman said you told him no.
I did not tell him no. What I told him is I support staff recommendations, which is consistent with what I've always said.
Well, staff does not recommend what was proposed by you at the meeting.
I didn't propose anything. Staff proposed it.
However you want to word it, Steve, that's fine. But either way, we're in disagreement with it, and your staff does not agree with it. We would like to have it put through as recommended by the board.
Okay, all right.
I don't accept what you tell me what staff says. I accept the city manager says what
Staff
staff said, and I'll give it back. I'll refer back to the city manager.
Carl Peter just stated he doesn't
So let
agree.
the city manager have the commissioner go now?
Right.
Give your plans to the city manager, and he'll take care of it.
All right, I'll submit it through Carl Peter one more time. Is that
No,
okay?
send it to the city manager.
I'll give it to the city manager right now.
Thank
Do you want it
you.
now, or do you want it written out as you can read it?
No,
Give it to him.
right now it's good.
Thank you for your time.
I'll pass it. All right, that's